Oh my god!
It's me. I'm back again.
Love the hair, love the Snuggie.
Always.
Always.
Gotta rock the Snuggie.
Hell yeah. Gotta rock. And the hairdo was perfect. I know.
Hair's gonna change.
Listen.
Getting a haircut here soon.
Listen, my hair is messy too. It happens.
Considering you look homeless.
I do look homeless.
That's okay. That's okay. He's allowed to look homeless.
You realize that I can't hear the other side of the conversation, which then tells my brain that I have to fill in the rest of the conversation. So this is going to be a fun fucking night.
Because I can hear her and she can't hear me. That's funny.
Yep.
That is hilarious, actually.
Because otherwise I'm going to echo.
Mm-hmm. I know. And the thing that I found out about these is I hear you through my ears, but you hear me through my computer. So if I walk away and don't mute, you hear everything that happens in my house.
Yeah.
Ain't that fun? All right. So this is about campaign 2. I am ecstatic of how excited everyone is about campaign 2, and like I've given you guys very little, and I've had a lot of time, more time actually, to build campaign 2 and make it not such a clusterfuck as campaign 1 was. Still giving you guys the ability to create from scratch, like where your guy came from and all of that if you want to. A couple of the characters actually told me the idea of their background and then asked where in the world that's already created would they fit best. So some didn't want to create their hometown again. Some just wanted to be dropped in a bucket that already existed, which is great. And yeah, just thankfully it's not going to be as insane. So we all know you from campaign 1. You were the infamous Octavius that never actually saw any recorded screen time.
Until recently.
Because of Craig, until recently. And now you play Yorick Evermore, who has lasted, I'm confident in saying lasted way longer than you thought he would.
Yeah, a lot longer than I thought he would.
But I have enjoyed his evolution. Now we're going to be not necessarily dumping that character because he's still going to exist somewhere, unless the next 6 episodes he meets his end somehow. But we are going to be jumping into the world of campaign 2, which is going to take place in an entirely different area. No connection whatsoever to campaign 1, character wise anyway. Lore maybe, depending on what you guys decide. So who are you playing for campaign 2? Don't give it all away. Give away as much as you want to give. Because remember, you want to keep some for yourself from the viewers and from the other players. So as much as you want to give away. Who and what are you playing for campaign 2?
For campaign 2, I am playing just a little guy. He is a frog folk, and his name is Frett.
His name is Frett.
Frett.
You say a little guy, like how little is little?
He is, when he's hunched down, he's about 6 inches.
Okay.
If he stands up, he's more like 8 inches.
Oh
so
my
not
God.
Much of a difference.
That is crazy. He is a big boy. All right.
Just a little tiny guy.
Do you decide on a class for him?
Yes, he is a fighter.
He is a
for
fighter.
now.
At 8 inches tall. That is going to be fun. What would be... I mean, because, again, you guys don't know much about Campaign 2, and I'm only going to give you what your characters would and should know. But what, if you have any, are your expectations or your hopes for Campaign 2?
My biggest expectation is for him to live past level 3.
I mean...
That is my biggest expectation. But overall, I kind of want to build on. I kind of want to build more on my character's background representation.
Okay.
It's like for campaign 1 with Yorick, his love for history has only come up just 1 or 2 times, and then just kind of got brushed to the side because we're constantly moving, we're on the go a lot, so he hasn't really had enough time to really dig into anything, because we no sooner get to somewhere, someone does something and fucks it up, and then we have to run.
That is true.
Hopefully,
So are you hoping for more of like an RP and lore based? Because I like at the beginning
definitely
of
more lore.
at the beginning of campaign 1, you guys were like fight after fight after fight after fight, because despite my best efforts, I would give you guys multiple chances to not have it turn into a fight. Use your words, use your skills, use your spells. But one way or another, it always went to initiative. So
yeah, but at the beginning, we were still getting used to the characters, getting a feel for the group, and trying to establish ourselves as party members. Whereas now, we're actually thinking about things, and we're actually talking things out before just jumping into a decision and saying,
Sometimes.
fuck it, we're gonna do it.
yeah,
So
you guys-
hopefully with campaign 2, now that we're more established as a group and we know how each other plays and interacts, it'll be easier for us to maybe avoid more fights that could potentially end up killing one of us. Or maybe we could end up walking out of a town with more loot than we can carry.
Oh, that's
just
my
by
favorite.
simply talking to people.
My favorite part of a low-level campaign is taking any job because you need money and looting everything you see. That is my it's my favorite part of the campaign to build, because it's just like desperation at that point.
Yeah. Trying to get
It's just so
stacked
much
up
fun.
as much as you can, because you don't know when the next place is that you're going to be able to actually stock up on stuff is.
Mhm.
Or you may end up in a territory where there's more hostility towards 1 or 2 of your people, 1 or 2 of the people in your group, and it's like, well, dang it, now we can't stock up on potions and other items that we may need. We can't get any information out of these people because they don't like so-and-so. So
Fair enough.
hopefully we'll be able to establish each other's lore and bring it more to the forefront, instead of just kind of letting it pop up whenever it's convenient.
Yeah. Oh no, I hear you. Like character development wise, especially for campaign 1, you guys really didn't have a whole lot of time for character development. Like the character development, seeing any differences came from when something good or bad or was about to be bad happened, and then all of a sudden something you would say something new or do something new that you haven't done before, and those viewing it on the screen would be like, oh my god, he's never done that before, what about this time? But it never came out in RP, or like me being able to zero the camera in on you and talk you through it, because there was always something waiting around the corner that fucked those moments up. So you're hoping that stops, and that like
having more time to really get to know the characters instead of a constant go, go, go kind of pace.
Fair enough. So for the very beginning, not giving away your backstory because that's going to wait. How do you intend on playing Frett at first? Like, is he going to be quiet? Is he going to be nervous? Is he going to be way louder than he should be? Is he going to have little man syndrome, pun intended?
He's going to be louder than he should be.
Okay.
Considering that's one of his specialty, his special features.
Mm-hmm.
When in doubt, just scream.
Yeah, no, I saw that. That's going to be interesting. I actually went through and read everyone's character page. And unlike in campaign 1, when I went through and read everyone's character page, my head nearly imploded because of all the shit that I was gonna have to keep track of. And this time, it actually wasn't that bad. Even though the majority of them are homebrew, they're really not that bad at all. And I can give you a little tidbit on what I plan on doing. So, especially for campaign 2, way more than I did for you guys in campaign 1, is when you level to 3 and you get your subclasses, there is going to be camera focus on how it happened. Like, it's not necessarily you take the subclass and then boom, your character has all this extra shit. It's going to be a build. You know what I mean? So like from level 1, like you're going to tell me what you're going to take as a subclass. And then from level 1 to level 3, I'll put in little breadcrumbs that are going to lead you up to taking that subclass.
Little mini quests that build on it.
Not even, well, yeah, not necessarily little quests, but just like little differences in your character. Like your subclass says, okay, so say your subclass says that you are, you're good at multi-attacks with 2 weapons. So from level 1 to level 3, I'll have your character start learning how to fight with 2 weapons. That's just an example. That way, when you get to level 3 and you take that subclass, it's not just all of a sudden, hey, I've got all this shit, and no one knows how.
Gradually training the characters to,
Yeah, try and enhance the story a little bit rather than just throwing it all at you like I did before. Because there's so many, I mean, there's a lot of you, and that's fine, and that takes up a lot of time, but there was so many moments, like, 3 of you had gods and we never had time to go into that shit. I had to pull you onto the camera by yourself or literally stop the game so that I could focus on that. Or literally like with Jake's character, he's like, I want to commune with the writer, and I'm just going, he's not talking. And I had to do that because there was so much other shit going on. There was no justification to stop the clock for him to talk to the writer, or for you to talk to Futa, or for her to talk to Imasir. So I'm hoping in campaign 2 we can kind of hone in on that a little bit more and give everyone their day in the sun. The biggest part would be to not have 6 characters go in and all 6 backstories be under a microscope at the same damn time.
Yeah.
So and it's nice because everyone I've had on so far has agreed that part was where we went wrong, having too much shit go on at one time.
We had way too many irons in the fire, but somehow
God.
it kind of helped us in a way, but it's also hurting us.
It
double-edged sword.
It helped in a way because it got you guys to basically learn without choice that you had to back off a bunch of shit and zero in on one thing as a team to get anything done. It was by force. Yeah. You guys didn't have you had to figure that part out or nothing was going to get done. And the downside is 90% of the shit you guys started, you couldn't finish.
Yeah. And then it just kind of took on a life of its own, and now we're at where we're at.
Because like that, I mean, as I'm telling you guys, your characters are going to have nothing to do with campaign 1. So by the end of campaign 1, I'm willing to bet just about anything that bRiGhTeSt is not going to be solved. There's going to be a bunch of shit that's not solved. Band-aids at best, but not actually solved. So campaign 2 is going to have nothing to do with any of that shit. But at some point, it's going to come back. It has to, because it's still happening in the world. So even if you don't hear about it or see it in campaign 2, campaign 3, it might be right on your fucking front door. Like it's gonna have to be there. I'm actually.
You remember this tiny quest line from campaign 1? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is what it is now.
This is what it is now.
Campaign 3.
Yeah. So like right now, the only thing that I can guarantee, time-wise, is that campaign 2 is going to take place at the exact same time that campaign 1 did. But by the time it's over, all of these problems are going to have to be addressed. There's no way to continue ignoring them. They're there. They exist. So even when campaign 2 timeline lines up at the finish line with campaign 1, we're going to have to address this issue right here.
Yep.
There's no way to ignore it after that. But so it's going to be fun. It is going to be interesting. It's going to be a lot of fun. And I am hoping at some point Jill can join us. That would be nice.
She's working on it.
I know. No pressure, no rush, but it would be nice.
Yeah, especially since my character, she's got an idea for what she wants to do, and my character is knows her character, which is where his character is going to kind of develop and change by level 3, 4-ish.
Yeah. So
and
what
that's
kind
why
of
he's got the weapon that he does.
So given the fact that this interview for Frett is going to be played just before we launch campaign 2, and who knows if it's going to be a year or two by the time we do the closing character interview for campaign 2, what is your prediction for your character? Like, let's imagine in a perfect scenario he lives the whole way through. What's your prediction for like character development or like goal related shit like that? Because like I don't know if he has goals right now or if you're just going to wait to obtain them when you play. But in terms of like character development, how much he's going to change, where he's going to go, goal related, like what's your prediction for him?
He does have goals, and his goals being that he wants to become a well-known entertainer throughout the land. He wants his name up in lights. However, I feel like through the course of the campaign, he's going to get humbled. I feel like he's going to get humbled a lot in terms of his mentality. Just a little snippet, because he's from a circus where he used to perform as a sideshow.
Okay.
He grew tired of that and decided to hit the road on his own and attempted to reach his contract with the circus. So that could come up in later on in the campaign.
Okay. What did he happen to be a different class while he was in the circus and then spec'd into fighter, or was he always the fighter class?
He was always a fighter class. However, he did pick up an ear for music.
Okay.
And he could potentially become a bard in the future.
I was gonna say, did you have plans to multi-class, or are you gonna stay singular this time?
He is going to multi-class. However, it's going to be more of a straightforward multi-class instead of a mental tug-of-war type.
Yeah, I bet that's gonna be nice. No more mental gymnastics.
No more mental gymnastics. No more being turned into a pretzel.
No more God to talk
or
to.
being
or
smushed
answer
into
to.
a bowl. Or
Yeah, that
smushed
part.
into a ball.
Yeah.
But he
Go ahead.
is... I have very, very high hopes for him, and I really want to see where he ends up.
Nice. You are starting off with Corey's character, right?
Yes.
All right. I'm actually kind of glad you guys did. I didn't know if you would. So at this point in time, we've got 2 sets of 2 and then 2 sets of solo. So that's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
I can't say the best part or even the easiest part, but the most interesting part is there's 3 that are literally starting, like their playthrough is going to be at the starting point. So they're already going to be there, which is actually really cool, because like the playthrough is to get to know who your character is more than just writing them. So as I've said before, we're going to come into a setting like this, but I'm not going to hit record on it. It's just going to be us on camera. And you're going to have all your stuff up on your computer, and I'm going to have all of mine and all of yours up on my computer, and we're just going to go back and forth walking through it, and I'm going to put you through a scenario based on the information you send me. And we're just going to walk through who the character is, how they got there, or what they are, just so that we can both get to know them. So when you get to that starting point, the only questions that you're going to have for me is, would my character know this? Like if I give a lore or a history, would they know this? Because I'm good at history. Like that would be your only question, not who's my character, what am I doing? Like you're going to know who they are.
Right.
Unlike Yorick, that literally was just dropped onto the world of Mundos, and I was like, figure it out. And you had to learn who he was throughout the course of the campaign. You'll know who Frett is the day we start.
By Yorick starting off the way that he did, that actually fit his character, because even he was confused on who he was, what path does he want to take. Does he want to take a more divine path and follow in the steps of his mother and be this holy symbol of health and divine light? Or does he want to dip into the occult and focus on the darker side of things? And now he's got kind of a healthy balance.
True, but even then, like you had to learn what your character should have already known throughout the campaign. So rather than me describing something and you being able to look into your notes or know who your character is through and through and reacting to it from there, you had to wait for me to say, oh yeah, Yorick would know this, and then you reacted. So the reactions were not, oh, I know this, and genuine. They were forced. That's what I want to try to get away from. Like, I want you guys to hear me say something that you see or hear or feel and immediately know what I'm talking about. Like, here's a perfect example. Christian, playing Vidar, didn't even know what his dad's name was. And he's the one who named him. You see what I mean? He
Yeah.
built his character's backstory and then completely forgot about it, the little details, because we never ran through his character. So then I'm bringing up moments of the past, and I'm literally like staring at you as I'm saying something, and no one's picking up on it. This time I'm hoping to help that by we're both going to get to know him. And then if I bring up something from Frett's past, I don't have to stare at you and make it awkward. You're going, and I'm just waiting for you to react. Yeah, that part. Like, I would not have to sit here and be like, so Frett sees this. I could just literally say something, and you as the player, oh, okay, yep. And we would go from there.
And by doing it this way, it forces us to pay closer attention to what you're saying.
That part.
And not try to like multitask and focus on other things. And it makes us focus in on, wait a minute, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Notes. That's right.
Yeah, right there. Yeah, exactly. And then it's a real, genuine like reaction, and and then whatever your choice is from there. But I'm looking forward to it, and the fact that we made it this far still boggles my mind. I can't get over it. It blows me away that we are going to end on 100 episodes and are continuing on with this build to campaign 2 it's insane to me.
It's crazy. I
2 years
was not expecting. I was not expecting it to go this long.
We have been at this campaign for 2 years.
2 years. God.
That is crazy.
It has been a crazy but fun 2 years.
Mm-hmm. Seriously. And it's just going to keep going more. Okay, so from a not a player standpoint or a character standpoint, but from a member of Failed Attempt D&D, a team member, an employee, so to speak, what's your reaction to us getting sponsored?
I am absolutely stoked.
By 2.
Like, I thought it was going to take us a lot longer to finally get that bite where someone was like, yeah, you know what? We'll do it. We'll sponsor you. I was not expecting it to be this quick.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. I genuinely didn't think that we would get this far.
For real. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so you hope you make it past level 3. You know how you're gonna start. Without giving away too much, how do you think your character is going to react to like okay, so say I put 2 missions in front of you. You guys go and you see the law. And they say, hey, we need people who aren't connected to the law to go and do this thing for us. But you're doing it for essentially the good guys. You're doing it for the law, the government, whatever it is you want to say, right? And they tell you what the reward, they tell you what it is, what the reward is, what the risks are, yada, yada. But then like before you go on that mission, you get brought to, let's say, like an underground where it's the not so lawful people, and they give you the exact same mission. which one would your character take? Would you work for the law or the underbelly if given the exact same mission by both?
He's going to go with whichever one is going to give him the most recognition, the most glory.
Okay. So he's not
He wants
actually...
all of Mundos to be saying his name.
So not exactly money, but prosperity is what he's going after.
He's going for the fame.
Okay.
He wants to make a name for himself. He wants people to see him and be like, Kitty.
That's what he wants. He wants people to see him and say kitty.
I mean, maybe
That'd be
something
a really
will happen.
weird response to a frog.
Kitty.
Kitty.
No, that's a frog.
Who knows? I mean, if he goes bard, he could get disguised self and make himself look like a kitty.
This is true. There's also a very common theme with a lot of my characters. I'm just now realizing they're all animal-based.
Well, a frog's not really an animal. Not to piss off.
The frog is an animal.
A frog is an animal? Thought they were
frog is an
amphibian.
animal.
Thought they were amphibian.
It is an amphibian, but still an animal.
I have to check this. Sorry. Is a frog an animal? Yes, a frog is an animal.
Animal is an umbrella term. And then you have the fine definitions of like amphibian, mammal, fish, and so on.
No, frog isn't an animal.
Damn, I really should have gone for a biology degree.
Frogs aren't animals. They're garnish.
Frog lives matter.
Frog lives, yeah, they're not animals. They're garnish.
They're animals.
No, they're garnish. They're like apples.
Except for Frett, he's just an angry potato.
They're like apples. No one wants to eat them, but they're there. He's an angry potato. Well, are you sure you don't want to change races to the potato?
I'm not gonna be the potato because then Judd would just eat me.
The can of Cheese Whiz.
Might go with the brain in a jar just to spice things up.
Abby.
We are gonna do that actually. I was talking to Corey, and I'm gonna do a one shot of just like bullshit races. Just like you guys can't. We're gonna do a one shot where you guys cannot choose any race that's practical. It has to be
actual
one of
bread.
Yes, exactly. It's got to be one of the weird ones.
I'll just. I have the perfect one for it. It's perfect.
I do have a couple of the team members. I think Corey wants to join it, and I'm pretty sure Jake wants to join it when we do the what if Octavius lived.
Okay.
Because that one's not going to be a one shot because it can't be. It's not going to be a campaign we run next to the main campaign, but it's going to be like a mini series. But we
kind
are
of a
going
gap
to do it.
filler. Like say not everyone's able to make it, we can work on that one as a gap fill.
Basically, yeah. But it's not gonna go. It's not gonna go as long as the main one. It might be like 6 episodes and then it'll be over. It's just gonna be a mini series. What if Octavius lived?
We could also do the same thing for Adam.
I don't think Judd's gonna want to play Adam again. He really didn't enjoy playing because he didn't know how to play him. He couldn't talk. He didn't know what to do. But yeah.
That's fair. But also while he was playing Adam, he was still new to the group and getting to know each other, getting to know the rest of the group.
That is true. I'll talk to him. I'll see if he wants to. You're not the only one that lost a character in campaign 1. All right.
I know. I was the first, though.
Yes, you were the first. You were the first. But Adams was actually recorded and put on YouTube.
True.
There is no proof of yours.
No, technically you still have proof. You have the recordings. It's just they don't upload very well.
Oh, those didn't upload at all. The reason that one failed is because you could download the string and isolate everybody's voices, but then it would mix and match them in the wrong way. So you'd end up having like 2 voices colliding or one thread happening earlier or later than it was supposed to be. So we ended up saying, fuck it. Like, I wanted to do Skype from the very beginning, like from episode fucking 0. I wanted to do Skype, but I was the only one that thought it would be a good idea at the time. And now look, we're using Skype all the time.
Yeah.
So, you know, not to toot my own horn or anything. But yeah. So what kind of preparation for Frett, like as a player, and of course with Corey, because your characters, what kind of preparation are you going to do or hope that you and Corey can do to lead up to the start of campaign 2? Like, are you going to continue to develop your backstory, or are you just going to write it and leave it alone and come back to it later? Like, what kind of prep are you going to do?
Right now, I think we're going to we're going to flesh it out a little bit more, because we just kind of bounced ideas back and forth, and then we found one that stuck with us.
Yeah.
That worked for both characters, not only as players, but lore-wise. And we know why the changes happened, why my character made the choice that he made to leave where he was at, and how he does it. So even though our characters are going to be starting out knowing each other through campaign 2, at first Corey's character doesn't know that my character is with who he's traveling with at the time.
Okay. Got you. Okay. So that leads me to another question. When we're doing the playthrough, am I starting separately and then you guys meet up, or are you both coming in and we're just going to work through how you met and then start the playthrough? How did you guys want to do that part? Individual playthroughs or together, and just jump to the part where you meet?
The easiest answer to that would be that my character is a stowaway.
Okay. Oh, okay.
That's why he doesn't know that my character's there at first. And then eventually it would lead to him getting discovered, and then they would have more interactions, which would then lead into the beginning of the campaign, where the rest of the party ends up colliding with each other.
My favorite part about that, and I can only say this out loud because Corey did in our interview together, the part that I am going to enjoy the most, and that makes me laugh, Okay, now that my dogs stopped barking. Come at me all you want. Dogs barking is annoying, and I tell them to shut up all the time. Come at me. Go ahead. What I was gonna say is he said it in the interview, but the part that I find the funniest and the part I'm gonna enjoy the most is the fact that his character is a cook. And your character is a frog. So it's gonna be that constant, like, does he find you useful enough to not eat you? It's going to be that constant undertone between you two. Probably not for the entire campaign, but a lot of the beginning of him just struggling with the idea. Like, imagine a situation where he has a fire started in the woods because you guys are camping for the night and no one has any food. That's, yeah.
Children.
What's up?
Cats.
Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna, yeah. That's not a spoiler alert, by the way. But that is a situation that could happen.
Hang on. I gotta help Jill to the bathroom real quick.
Okay. Okay. So pizza and barbecue sauce with chips and peanut butter. Are you actually having the peanut butter with the chips? Okay, good. Because I was about to say that sounds disgusting. Now I can actually read this. What do you got? So I want to use, but I'm not sure it exists in a new version. I don't know if the old is applicable. Did find a version of it, but the names of the abilities are messed up. Tried making it and couldn't much figure it out. Okay. Well, let me see. Yes, I will leave Discord.
Boy did not wait for these fucking dishes.
I know that. I told him to just leave them there. Okay, so let me see if I can find it. Yes, so while we're waiting for Tyler to come back from the bathroom, make sure to go check out AudioBooksNow.com. The link will be in the description of the video, and it's in the description of every video we've done in the past couple of weeks. 50% off your first purchase and a 30-day free trial to start. Follow the link and go get some books. Anywhere from action to adventure to fantasy to erotic, whatever your taste is, they've got it. Also, our second official sponsor, My Sensual Secrets. Yes, My Sensual Secrets, for all of those fun and kinky toys for the bedroom antics. And where the team will no doubt make all of their jokes about vibrating butt plugs. You can also follow that link in the description. And I'm not sure if Black Friday is still happening, but Black 20 is a code you can use if it is. And I gotta check this part. I've actually already checked it out. It's really cool. What was that one? Way of the Guard? Okay. So we're going to go base class will be monk. Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's not the same. It is not the same. It really is not, actually. It's completely different.
You all don't even think about it. I can hear your little ears grinding.
Damn. Well,
You've been eating my fucking jelly.
I don't know, probably. I told them that I have jelly in the pantry. That's actually theirs.
They have a bottle there. They have a jar.
What in the? Oh, good. There it goes. Guess it had to work itself out.
If that's what you call it.
I don't. That scared the shit out of me, but it seemed to work itself out. Yeah, I guess. Damn. I don't know. If it's
Hokey pokey.
okay. I was looking for something for Kara. Start on there. Level based. Okay. And she was looking for a particular subclass for her class, and it doesn't exist on Beyond. But I can do what I do and just have it, and then when she takes it, I can just go onto her sheet and start building it, like I always do. We can go from there. So that's not a problem. I have to do that for Jake's character again as well, so.
My only issue with my character is I'm probably not going to end up getting a subclass until like level 5.
Why is
if
that?
If I play it the way, or if I build it and play it the way that it's the most optimal, I could potentially get it as early as 4.
Why wouldn't it be level 3? Like the way it's. I'm curious. I'm not saying no.
The way that the multi-class leveling is going to be.
Oh, okay. So you plan on multi-classing like right off?
Kind of early. I would multi-class at level 3.
So okay.
So
got you.
I would just get my subclass later. Depending on which one I want to subclass.
Oh, true. Yeah. Either both or just one.
Yeah.
Because you could potentially subclass in both and then just pump all your levels into one.
Yeah. Instead of doing like I did with Yorick and bounce back and forth between the two.
Yeah. Just get to level 6, have them both subclassed, and then choose one.
Yeah.
But it's up to you on how you want to do it. But I do actually enjoy that you're not multi-classing right at the beginning, because you said that he's going to work toward the bardic stuff. But that's what I'm saying, is that's another thing that between the levels I can gradually go, like once I learn who your character is, I can gradually go like, Frett, do this for me, and it's like music based. Or
Yeah.
if I'm saying like in between here and here, nothing's going on, what would you guys like to focus on? And you tell me, you know, you want to write music or take out your sheet music and learn something. And then we do
Write
roles
music.
and shit and that.
Practice.
Yes. And that gives both of us the ability to know where you're headed. So that when you do multi-class or subclass, you're already prepared for it. It's not just, again, you know what I mean? It's not just all of a sudden you know how to do this shit.
I suddenly know how to do this.
Yes. Yes. It is more of a build. Because that will be, and it's not just about the viewer, to be honest. It will be a lot better for you guys as the players, because then you'll know you have it. There's nothing more frustrating than leveling a character and not knowing what your character has, because it was never talked about, it was never prepared for, it was never used. So then you're one day just looking through your character going, oh shit, I never knew I had that. And that's because
I took that.
Because there was no development leading there. So that's where my focus is going to be, is not only on the gameplay, but helping you guys to know what you've got, because we literally worked towards you getting it.
Yeah.
So the downside to that, because there's always a downside, is if I'm having you roll to acquire the skill and your rolls suck, then it's not going to be what it's supposed to be on the paper. I'm going to have to go in and rework it and tone it down a little bit until your rolls are better. But that's just the nature of the beast.
In that case, I'm in trouble.
Who knows? You might actually roll better this campaign. Who knows?
I'm the chronic low roller.
You might actually roll better. You might actually roll better this time. You never know.
I've got more dice, so now my other dice aren't going to get tired and they'll start rolling better.
There you go. Make sure you have a dice jail so that you can make the bad ones feel bad about themselves. Make sure you actually have a dice jail. Oh, there you go.
Dice that low roll go into the shake bag,
where they will be tossed around until they learn their lesson. Hell yeah. But all right, man. Glad to have you on again. Super psyched for campaign 2. There's no definitive date of when it's going to start. Y'all, I mean, you guys can jump in the comments and ask all you want. I'm not telling you not to. I'm just letting you know now. There is no definitive date of when it's going to start.
It'll be here when it's here.
Because as we're recording this, we're still 6 episodes from finishing campaign 1. And then in between campaign 1 and campaign 2, we're going to be some on-camera but not recorded playthroughs for each character or each set of characters. And in between those, in between the playthroughs and the campaigns, we're also going to have multiple one-shots and just other shit to do, so that we're not uploading things for the viewers to watch. But again, there's no definitive start date for campaign 2. When it gets closer and we know, you'll know. All right. While you were gone, I already did the plugs for AudioBooksNow and my Sensual Secrets. So
I heard.
Yes. Yes. While you were gone, I made sure to put those in.
Gotta plug those.
Yes. Gotta plug them up in a vibrating way. All right. Have a good night, man. And
You as well.
we'll see you Saturday.
See you Saturday.
Peace.
Peace.